All right, let's do this. Joining us tonight, co-creator of the Lonely Girl phenomenon, Miles Beckett, and TV editor for Variety, Michael Schneider. Gentlemen, welcome to The Loop. Let's get this going, Mike. I'd like to start with you. I mean, when an internet video becomes successful, it's not only on YouTube, it's on this show, of course, and the Today Show, and the local news, and it's talked about in Entertainment Weekly and the New York Times, and then 4 months later, my mom finally emails it to me with this "have you seen it?" question.
Mom tip.
But after going through all that, are internet celebrities, are they famous, or is it just the 15 minutes that they have being spread out over those 4 months?
I mean, it didn't hurt, people who are already famous, like Paris Hilton. But as far as these new people go, no, it's 15 minutes if they're lucky. For most people, it's 5, maybe 6 minutes at most. I mean, you see the video, you move on. Tomorrow, there's another guy getting hit in the crotch that, is funny for 5 seconds.
Yeah, Miles, can someone truly be an internet star if they're replaced by like a frat guy in a banana hammock ghostwriting The Whip 13 seconds after he uploads his YouTube video?
Well, I mean, I think that it's changing. I think that originally the videos were these viral videos where you get a big hit and that's about all that you see. But certainly one of the things we've done with Lonely Girl 15 is by building a sustainable audience, I think that you can generate sustainable fame. So, we're still getting 1 to 1.5 million views per week, and Jessica is still famous in the eyes of the people that meet her on the street.
But didn't it impact you guys once we found out that she wasn't actually a 15-year-old teenage girl? How did that change sort of her hits?
Well, surprisingly, not as much as you would think. There were a couple angry kids on YouTube that made a few comments, but that went away pretty quickly. And actually, the publicity helped us more than anything. And we saw a big spike as a result.
Now, Lonely Girl 15 has had over 40 million views now. To say that it's a huge success, at least in the eyes of the YouTube community, is an understatement. Now, Jessica Rose, who actually plays Lonely Girl, Miles, does she consider herself to be famous now that she's sort of had that many views and she has that built-in audience?
Jessica's been pretty immune to it. You'd have to ask her directly to say whether or not she considers herself famous. I certainly do. I know people come up to her on the street and recognize her. She gets requested for autographs all the time. She has thousands of friends on MySpace. So if that's not fame, I don't know what is.
Well, the big question is, what does she do next? Is she able to parlay that into something else? Does she have the acting chops? Is she able to become a TV star or get movie roles or do something more than just, YouTube, which, is great, but at what point, what do you do next?
Right, and I think the difference here in this case was that we actually cast an actress for this role. And so Jessica had prior acting experience. In fact, she just spent the last month doing an independent feature. She had a small role in a Lindsay Lohan movie. And I think that because this was a produced piece of content from the very start, it's sort of different than those random viral videos, Star Wars kid type things out there.
But Miles, now if she makes it, let's say she bursts into Hollywood, becomes the next big thing, is that a testament to the internet for launching her, or is that a testament to her for being this actress and she just happened to get involved with this internet thing at the right time?
Well, I think the answer is both. The internet allowed us to reach a massive audience without making any deals with cable networks or network TV.
All right. Now, Michael, are companies, so many media companies, they'll hire internet celebrities, right? And they'll think, let's talk about Hollywood for a second. Do they think that the internet is some sort of untapped talent pool?
I think they still fear the internet more than anything else, and they're trying to figure it out. You remember when Carson Daly signed up Brookers last year? Did you watch those videos? They were terrible. I still don't quite get why he signed her.
Do you think they were doing that just for the press release, though? Just to say, look, we understand the internet's we're on there. We signed a star?
I think they just saw, hey, a lot of people are watching this video, so let's sign her up. She must have something, and they possibly realize, maybe she doesn't. Maybe there are 100 Brookers out there. So you haven't seen other deals like that as people sort of pull back and say, well, wait a second, what is here? Lonely Girl 15 was produced well. That was something different than the majority of what you see on YouTube, which is still more homemade stuff edited on people's home, iMacs.
It's still very much the stab in the dark. It's the, hey, we need to get part of this whole internet thing. Let's just go find the biggest thing that's out there right now. And again, usually the biggest thing that's out there right now is just big for no good reason other than that it's out there.
Yeah, like those videos of me working out, for example, they have not, maybe have gotten 15 hits so far.
Listen, you're building a subscriber base. At some point,
slowly.
We get you off the weights and get you to cardio, and then you
I'm
get
a big
millions
fan
of views.
personally. I sent it to my mom. So.
Exactly, and your mom really appreciated it.
She recoiled.
All right, now, sure, there's, media companies out there, they're hiring up these stars. You say, Michael, we talk about Brookers. It might have been for the press release. It might not have. But what's the next step for this? I mean, are there agents, and do you think there's Hollywood big shots that are trolling MySpace and YouTube that are looking for the next big thing?
I think some. It's mixed. You talk to some execs, and they don't go on the internet at all. They don't know what's going on. You talk to others, especially some agents. They're paying attention. I think eventually someone will actually make the transition, and then at that point, maybe the floodgates will open a little bit more. But until that happens, it's still very slow coming.
Right. The answer is money, ultimately. If there's money to be made in internet video, then the agents and the surrounding Hollywood system will flock to it. And that's sort of what we're seeing as we move towards advertising and models like that with Lonely Girl 15.
Well, now it seems that we all agree and sort of understand that there is obviously a relationship between old school Hollywood and the internet, or at least that relationship is brewing. But Michael, how's this all going to finally play out? Like, will a true internet star emerge on their own, or is the industry going to create that star and then launch them online a la a Lonely Girl 15?
Well, you see what the industry is doing. They're actually trying to create their own stars at the moment. There's, NBC has a development with the Nobody's Watching guys, you know about that, where they're actually sort of putting money into there. They're trying to develop these guys who are producing wacky videos and putting them on the internet. Bill Lawrence from Scrubs is behind it as well. They're hoping to turn these guys into bigger stars. So there's still a little bit of co-opting by Hollywood.
Miles, do you think that more people are going to adopt the Lonely Girl model, if you will, and try to launch actresses?
If people are trying, Hollywood's tried for a while to do it. The question is, how successful will they be? Certainly for us, as we go out and continue to produce more projects in the future, we feel like we have a really good handle on it, and I think that there will be more people emerging from this internet world that then get access to the distribution channels at Hollywood and can create properties that are sustainable.
And Miles, one final question for you, sir. Is there a snowball's chance in hell I could date this girl, or is that really just, I need to take that off the table and forget about it?
I don't know. I'll talk to her manager.
That's what I like to hear. Miles and Michael, thank you guys for joining us in The Loop. We appreciate it. All right, now listen, the internet as a viable star-making medium, obviously it's still in its infancy, and while it's leveled the playing field as far as a means of exposure, allowing anyone to instantly be seen across the world, the medium itself doesn't actually make anyone a star. That part is still entirely up to the content creators. And if the internet video sites have proven anything, just because anyone can be seen on a screen doesn't necessarily mean they should be.